TheGamingGeek here, welcome to this video, and as a lot of you have been asking me what I use to edit, how I edit things, and it's just generally been a question that a lot of people have been firing at me recently, I thought I'd show you basically an insight into editing a video, what I go about it, how I use Premiere Pro. So if you are new to Premiere Pro, if you're new to making YouTube videos and you want to know how things are edited, and how I do things personally, then go ahead, watch this video, and hopefully you can take something from it. Now, this isn't like an official guide, this isn't anything that's, you know, sort of like, oh, the pros say do this, do it this way, do it like this, but this is something that I've just used in practice, and something I've developed in using the program for a few years. So, let's dive straight into it. Now, we're at this splash screen that you get when you launch the program. I haven't done anything just yet, not changing any settings. This is basically as you'd get it if you just installed it. So you open the program up, we want to create a new project, so we click new project here. Now you need to find somewhere to save this project. It's going to save it in a default file normally, but I'm just going to quickly, actually I'm going to save it here. I'm going to save a duplicate. Now because I'm going to be redoing the Ghosts on PC free weekend video I did. I just wanted a commentary video I could use to show you. So I'm going to redo that. So I'm going to put number 2 there, name it, save it wherever you are, and select the folder. And oh, sorry, hang on, I just got that wrong. So select the folder here, then choose that. Don't put anything in that box just yet. Then you name it down here. There we are. Apologies. Ghosts on PC2. I'm just going to call it that. Now, what you need to make sure is your capture format is HDV, and apart from that, don't touch anything else and click OK. Now, it's going to bring you to this screen, which to new people will look a bit like this, and you'll be like, oh my god, what do I choose? If you're using a normal gameplay, commentary, normal things, if you're not using a video camera, then you don't need to look into this. All you need to do is go straight down to HDV and go to HDV 1080p 30 frames a second. In CS6, this really isn't that important, and you'll see in just a moment. But generally, I record my videos in 1080p, so I'm going to select that. If you do want to select the others, depending on how you recorded your video, do that. But generally, as the rule, I select this pretty much all the time, and you'll see why, and like I said, in just a moment. Click OK, and you'll get to the splash screen. Now, you're missing this. I'm just going to pull this over, because I have 2 monitors. I actually have my viewer on another monitor, so I'm just going to push this over here for now. So there we are. This is your viewer from the actual board down here, the sequence. Okay, so we want to pull in our new footage. Now, you can either bring over a folder and drag it straight into the application here, or you can actually just open it this way. Just double tap on this, and it'll open. Now, just before I do that, your layout might be slightly different. Now, if we go to here, if we actually reset the workplace, and we set it to reset, yep. This is how you get it. So it's down here. So this is why I might be a little bit confused. If you do change this, though, from workspace to, it's on editing already. Sometimes you change the editing and it changes a little bit, but all you can actually do is move this around as you want. So I want this up here. I can actually drag this up here, push this up here, then pull this out, etc., etc. I'm going to leave it like this for now. So if we double click on this, we can bring up and load into, pull in files that we want to add into the video. So I'm going to pull in my my intro here. I'm going to pull in my like banner in 1080p. I've got 720p and 1080p version. I'm going to take in my overlay, and I'm going to pull in my outro here as well. We're going to do all of those. Now I need to pull in my gameplay, so I'm going to go into my recordings folder, going to go to Fraps, and I'm going to find the gameplay that I actually used. This one, and I believe, I don't even know which one I completely used, to be honest. It's been so long. These was when I did the Ghost Weekend video. I think one of them is this. What we can do then is we can actually double click this and just play through. Okay, we're going to use this gameplay. Might not be the one I actually used in the video, but that's fine. As you can see, it has tabs here. This is the project. So going back in the source, you can actually view your clip. Okay. So, if we drag this down in here, now this is the bit I was on about. You click mismatch. It's telling me actually that the settings I set for the sequence doesn't actually match the settings of the clip. So it's not going to be edited in the best possible way. So it's going to tell you, would you like to change the sequence settings to match the clip? So if you drag down here your primary video clip, so this is the main source of content. So don't drag the intro in first, don't drag anything else, the actual source clip. Now, if you're all using Fraps, then just drag in one of the Fraps videos, because it will pretty much match it for everything else. Same as if using a video camera. Just drag one of them in, and because the video camera is the same, all the settings will match. So just click Change Sequence Settings, and there we are. It's changed it now to match this. Okay, so I haven't got my commentary yet. I just need to go and get that. I have a lot of files here, so let me just find mine away and navigate through here. Ghosts, Ghosts, here we are. Commentaries, PC free weekend, here we are. And then I got my second one I did here, because I re-recorded that. Okay, So we got this here. Now I normally line up my commentary, so I'm going to drag this into one of the audio tracks. As you can see, you've got 3 audio tracks standard here and 3 video tracks. Think of these as layers in Photoshop. Things that you put on top of each other will actually start to layer up, and you'll see that in just a moment. But you can do the same with audio. But don't worry, you don't just have 3 layers to work with. If as you add more stuff, if you run out of space, if you drag it down to the bottom here, it'll actually create a new layer and then add it in. Okay, so I'm going to find the beginning of my audio track. Let's scan through.
Today we are looking at... Hey guys,
here we are. That's the beginning. So I can use my arrow keys to scan back and forward frame by frame to find the beginning. There it is. Now all you need to do is make sure that you have the normal selection tool selected, and then you can just literally click on the corner, left click, and drag it, and it'll actually lock to your pointed time that you are there. If it's not locking correctly, there is a magnet somewhere which I always forget that you can click. I might find it in a moment. It's here somewhere. Anyway, as default, it'll lock anyway, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Once you do that, then you can then find the place in the video that you want to line it up to. We can mute this track if we don't want to hear it, and we just want to hear the game audio for a minute. So we can just scan through, find where we want to start. And then we go to the start. Oh, is this a long loading? All right, this clip was quite small, but don't worry, we'll just make the video small. It doesn't have to be the full thing. So if we go straight into where I joined. There we are. We joined about... We can go back frame by frame, like I said. Fine. There we are. Let's go from there. We can drag that in, and then we can match up the two game source. Make sure to unmute.
Hey guys, Good here. Welcome to this video, and today we are looking at...
Okay, as you can see, the actual game audio is really loud. If you right-click on any clip you want to change the audio of, you can actually click Audio Gain. Then adjust gain by, and this is how much you want to adjust it by. So I want to adjust it by minus 5 decibels. That's probably not going to be enough. I'm actually going to do minus 25. That's what I do for game clips. So hit enter, it adjusts it.
Goes on PC. Now, just to start off, if you didn't know, there is a free weekend going on currently. You can go on Steam, go into your library.
That is much better. And yeah. So if you go back to somewhere where there's quite loud, so the beginning it's quite loud.
Good here. Welcome to this video, and today we are looking at Call of Duty Ghosts.
Yeah, maybe we can adjust it slightly. We can plus it by 5. So if you just add in 5, that's going to add it to 5. You can see here, it's gone down from 25 to 25 there. If I add it by 5, it's going to drop to 20. Click OK. It's now adjusting it back up
on PC. Now just
that's a bit louder. Okay, so we've got a clip here. We're just going to probably let's say I ended my commentary.
Make up your own mind, but it's definitely not something I'm going to decide to pick up, even at the discounted rate that it is currently. There's a lot of discounts on Steam right now. For
no, let's set it before that.
Okay. I mean, I'm glad I didn't buy it, and you guys obviously check it out and make up your own mind.
There we are. If we go own mind, so I can skip back using the arrow keys and just get it just before I say the next sentence. We can drag this back. Now, we want to cut this audio, because rather than going all the way down here, grabbing it, and then trying to drag it all the way back over, by the way, you can use these little tabs here to pull. That makes the timeline, as you can see more of the timeline, or zoom in using that. It's a really cool little technique to use. You can use the cut tool, the razor tool, or C on the keyboard. All these represent little keys, and you can learn them. It'll tell you C. So we bring it down to C, and literally it will magnetically stick if you run it over the clip towards where your current point in time is. You can left click and see it cuts. That's made a cut. Now press V or click the arrow here, and you can then pull these apart. You've made a cut. All you need to do then is either right click and cut, delete track, or you can just click the delete key on your keyboard, and that will go. So there we are. We've got that end.
And make up your own mind.
Now that ends quite suddenly, right? If that was a video, I wouldn't end it quite so suddenly. So I just want to now actually, if we go into the effects tab here, I've made my own little presets, and these basically, I can make another video on those. Those is if I have webcams, and actually set up a position of a video feed and save that as a preset. And then if I drag that onto a clip, it'll have the same properties again. So it means if I do a series of videos, but in new projects completely, I can always assign the same sort of thing. Same as I've got Sims color balance. I set the color balance for Sims, and I can always use the same one by just dragging it on. As you can see, it would assign my Sims color balance onto that. See, it looks a bit better like that. We can do color balancing in a separate video if you want. I'm just going to do the basic editing. So we want to edit this clip and end it. So we're going to go down to audio transitions first. Go to crossfades. Here we go. We've got gain, constant power. That's if you want to sort of go from one clip to another and you want the power to continue through, to fade really nicely into one clip to another, that's definitely a good one to use. But we want to fade, so we drag the fade onto the clip. As you can see, it goes purple down here. Now, as you notice,
Make up your own.
we're going to end it like that. It's a bit sudden. I wouldn't normally do that in a video, but we're going to pretend that that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it to both clips, so drag them on both. And then we're going to go up and we're actually going to select the video version of it, which actually is down here. We've got video transitions. Then we've got a load of video transitions. They all work similarly, but you can go to dissolve. That's what I use a lot. And a dip to black. That's always a great one. Cross dissolve is always great for mixing clips together if you want to fade in from one clip to the other. As you can see, it starts to go frame by frame. It's just going to fade it out. There we are. That's cool. So let's drag in our intro. I'm going to drag that in and pop that right at the beginning. As you can see, it's like magnetic. You can pull it away, and then if you push it near, it snaps to it. Now, this clip is really loud. Also, I'm not going to play it because I don't want to burst your eardrums, but this clip is a lot louder when I made the intro than it should be. So we're going to immediately right-click, go to audio gain, and we're going to do minus about 3 on this one for me. That's how I do mine. Hit enter to save the changes. There we are.
Hey guys, Greg here. Welcome to this
Brilliant.
video.
This video is coming together already. So this puts our overlay on. This is what marks it as a Gaming Geek video. This is how people know that joining in, who've never seen my channel before, knows who's creating it. Now, as you can see, this is now a layer. If you click on this, you can actually move this layer. Here we are. We can double click it. We can move the layer around. And then we can even interact with a video layer and move that one around. We can resize it, do all that good stuff. Now, I'm just going to reset this. Okay. Don't forget, if you think of it like Photoshop, if your layer is covering the full screen, if the whole dimensions of the layer is 1080p, you won't be able to get the layer underneath unless you either disable the layer by right-clicking and disabling it. So you see it's grayed out, and then you can enable it. Or you have to just completely move it out of the way. But I'm going to move this because I don't want it in that corner. I'm just going to move it over here. I can then resize it. Think of it like, you know, an image, a normal image in Word or in Photoshop. You can just actually just edit the corners and pull it down and resize it. I'm just going to put it here. There we are. I'm going to put it there. That's cool. That's about where I put it in the video. Okay, so I want that to appear just normally here. You could do a fade in using a dip to black that will actually go from black and fade in. It's quite clever. It knows in the context that you're going to be using it. But we also just want to fade out this outro as well. We're going to drag over the dip to black. Otherwise, it would look a bit weird. So there we are. We just do both layers. So if you want everything to fade to black, make sure you add it to every layer. Otherwise, it just won't act right. I'll actually quite demonstrate it for you right now. I don't drag this video out too much, but if we just demonstrate that. If I pull that dip to black, if it wants to work. There we are. Click on it and delete, and you can pull it. See, it would just act weird. See, it's still there. It's not really disappeared properly. So you got to disappear that as well. Now, if you zoom in, if you use this, push it in to zoom it in, you can see, you can actually start to then manipulate the length of the dip. You can shorten it by dragging it into there, or you can lengthen it like this. So just think about it. The further you put it up, the earlier it will start, but actually it will hold out for longer. So it's going to start to fade very, very slowly. Depending on what you're looking for. There we are. I'm just doing Control-Z to undo any of those changes. There we are. Now, it's time to do our light banner. So we've dragged this on, another layer, third layer on top. I want this to just appear somewhere in the video. Just remind people that I do appreciate their support. So we're going to do a little cross. Well, actually, no, we're going to do something a little bit different. Let's do a slide. Let's do a push. So drag that on here. So as you can see, when it hits that point in the video, it's going to push that video piece in. And then we want to run it for a certain period of time here. And we want to push it back out again.
Then the game will be there for you to download.
There we are. That's that. That's that. Easily done. See, as you can see, as that's on top of that layer, I could actually, if I wanted to, drag this up here and it would cover that one up. That's how layers work, yeah? I'm hoping you guys have used things similar to Photoshop and understand those sort of things and how they work. Now, really, I'm pretty much done. This is how quick and easy it can be to make a game commentary. Not all videos are like this. Not all of my videos are like this. Some of them I spend hours and hours editing. But this is just a simple gaming commentary with not a lot of care and attention done to it. I've already done the actual audio editing in terms of making my voice sound a bit better in Audition. I can do a separate video on that if you want. But, so I've already done the hard work of that as well. So at the moment, we're fading up your own. Yeah. Okay. Audio edition. Audio game. We're going to turn that down -2. I don't want to deafen people. And then we are. That's done. Now, if we just literally drag a box around this, we can highlight all of these things at once. And we just push it all the way to the start. It'll just stop there. Now, this little thing here, this is basically choosing the actual clip that you want to render from it. So if I only wanted to render that bit, I could just select that bit. So this just selects where you want the video to start and end. So I want it to end there. Now I'm pretty much done. I'm going to do Control S or File Save just to save the project in case something happens. And we're actually now going to go to File, Export, Media. I'm going to get to this screen. Now, this screen is going to be a little bit daunting. You might want to refer back to the video a few times. This is the best settings I have found for YouTube. I've actually even set it up as a preset so that I can always get those settings. You might want to do the same thing if you find it hard to remember them. In format, you need to go to H.264. This is the definite agreed format for videos for the internet and generally for YouTube as well. So H.264 as the format. This is the code that we're going to be using to actually render out the video. Now, preset. If you go down, all the way down, skip all of this. There's a lot of stuff here. They try to make standard stuff. We want HD. I'm going to render this video in 1080p. So HD, 1080p. I'm going to do 29.97. Right. We now want to... If we set a setting up that we like, just so you know, you can actually save a preset. And then what I have up here is under custom, I have HD 1080p YouTube preset. And you can select that. But we're going to do it from nothing. Output name, we're going to choose where we want to save that. I'm just going to set it to videos. I'm just going to put it as ghosts. There we are. Well, then we want to export the video and the audio. We're going to go down on the, forget the filters. You don't need to do nothing with that. On the, if we just make this bigger, we can see a bit. On the video page, it should already say 1920 by 1080. We have frame rate. You can select that to 30 if you want. There's no point going over 30, but 29.97 and 30 won't notice much of a difference. You want to make sure this is on square pixels, which it should already be on. This should be on NTSC. You want main profile, and then you want to put this up to 4.2, and you'll see why in just a moment. Okay, you can also render at maximum depth if you really want to. I don't particularly do that. It's not necessary. I wouldn't do that at all. Now, target bitrate. This all depends on your internet. This is something you have to play out with. If you have the best internet, you could ramp this up to 50/50. YouTube actually says, like for the best possible 1080p video, you want it at 50/50 in terms of target bitrate and maximum bitrate. However, most people don't have that internet. As you can see, the file size is down here. If I put it up to 50, it goes from 400 to about 624. Because this video is quite small, it doesn't seem a lot. It's only a 1 minute 44 video. On a larger video, it will jump up really quickly. So, for most people, even decent internet speeds, I mean, a couple of meg upload, you want to be using 2525. That's actually going to give you really good, high quality videos. If you have lower, then maybe drop into 15 and 15. Might be good. And then you can go as far as 10 if you want, and the video will still be respectable quality. And I'm not talking potato quality, I'm actually calling respectable quality. I have uploaded in 1010. I do fairly frequently still upload it in 1010, so that's not really bad. It's 126. But we're gonna pretend we have beast internet. We're gonna do 2525. And then on here, basically, this is how many times you want the encoder to run the actual process of encoding the video. Now, if you do VBR 2 pass, it actually renders it twice and then takes the best output from those two. Sometimes because computers are doing other things and not just rendering the video, it's not just primarily doing that, you're doing Twitter, you're doing lots of other things, something can interrupt it and cause it to have a little glitch in the video, or maybe for it to not to render in the best possible quality. If you've got the time, it will almost double the time, it'll do it by probably about 3/4 as much time added onto it. But if you've got that extra time and you're not really, caring about how long it takes to upload, to render, you can 2 pass and you're just going to get that security that it will go over it twice and you'll get the best possible quality. So that's what I would actually recommend on most cases. Then if you go to audio, all you need to make sure is this is on 192. Very simple. Then you can forget the rest of it. Just make sure that's on 192. That should already be on high. Stereo, of course. Make sure that's on the same one. AAC. But these should all be like this anyway because you've selected this preset. Now it says custom because we've actually changed some things, but the preset that we chose earlier on. Okay, the last thing to do is use maximum render quality. Now you could yet again, this is something you can flick on and off. Maximum render quality will increase your coding time and increase the strain on your computer considerably. However, if you've got a good computer, tick it, it'll give you that bit of extra quality, you will notice it. So it's up to you, leave it on or off. It's not a massive difference. But try it, render it out, see what you think. Frame blending, if you have a lot of images popping up on screen, sometimes it can have issues, or sometimes if you have a camcorder which is a lower frame a second than an image that's appearing on screen, or you're editing in a weird frame a second, sometimes things can flicker a little bit. Frame blending can stop that flickering. It blends all the flames together, I can't even speak. It blends all the frames together and ensures that doesn't happen. That's something, yet again, you can try on your own. Now, we're pretty much ready to render. However, this is a decision you need to make. If you're going to render a lot of things at once, you just want to get the editing done and then set it to render, and it will do loads of videos. It'll work down the queue, do all the videos you need to do, and you can just sit back and do what you want. You can click queue, and then what it'll do is it'll open up media encoder, it'll list all the things, and you can keep queuing it up, and it'll keep listing them all up as you hit queue on each video, and then you can hit the start button on it, and it will just run through everything. You can close Premiere Pro down, leave the encoder going, and that's done. However, it will take longer to do it that way. I don't know why, but it does take longer. If you have one video to do, all you need to do is just hit export, and it'll come up with here, it'll start rendering it out, and you can be ready to go. And that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any further questions, you can let me know in the comment section down below, but I'm going to leave the video there. If you want me to go into any more depth than anything else, cover anything else, like I said, let me know. If you have enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe for more video content. Hopefully this helps you out. I'll see you guys on the next video. As always, drink tea and game on.